Right, so this video is about repeated games in game theory. So to begin with, what is a repeated game? A repeated game is when we have the same players और वो लोग same strategic game खेलते हैं over and over again over a few rounds. Alright, so it's not a one shot game. Players will keep repeating the game over a few rounds. तो इससे क्या होगा कि जो players है उनको याद रहेगा कि पिछले round में क्या हुआ, right? You're gonna remember what the player did in the previous rounds, and इससे तुम अगर वो लोग कॉपरेट करते हैं तो तुम लोग रिवॉर्ड कर सकते हो, अगर वो लोग चीट करते हैं तो तुम लोग उसको पनिश कर सकते हो, राइट? सो द आउटकम्स डिपेंड नॉट ओनली ऑन द करंट डिसीजंस बट ऑल्सो ऑन द प्रीवियस मूव्स, दैट इज द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द गेम, राइट? सो हियर हिस्ट्री मैटर्स. ओके, now, what is a stage game? The concept of a stage game is that a stage game is a basic game, ठीक है, जो हर राउंड में रिपीट होता है, ठीक है. So, for example, it will be like एक firm है, it's deciding prices every week, ठीक है. तो जो हर वीक होगा जहाँ पे prices decide हो रहे हैं, वो वीक को stage game कहा जाएगा. And then we have types of repeated games. Alright, now what are types of repeated games? Finite repeated games and infinite repeated games. Now, finite repeated games में a fixed number of rounds are played. Alright, and is cooperation possible here? And let's just say it is hard to sustain cooperation, right? क्योंकि मतलब एक finite game है, तो अब तुम लोग क्या ही मतलब इतना उसको cooperate करो. You will mostly think about yourself only. You won't think कि आगे जाके क्या होगा, क्योंकि there is a very limited time. Now there's infinite repeated games where there is no known end, so you will want to cooperate because then you don't know कि आगे वाला कितना तुम्हारे ऊपर बदला निकालेगा, right? So you will want to cooperate. So high cooperation is possible. Now, what are the strategies used in a repeated game? All right. So a player's actions किस चीज़ पे डिपेंड करते हैं इन अ रिपीटेड गेम? वन, करंट पे ऑफ क्या है, राइट? कि करंट वैल्यूज क्या है, क्या करने पे क्या मिलेगा. एंड द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द ओपोनेंट्स पास्ट मूव्स, कि तूने अगर मेरे से चीट किया था इन द अर्लियर राउंड्स, so why should I cooperate now, right? So an example strategy over here would be tit for tat, right? When you cooperate and then you copy the opponent's last move. These are not games, these are strategies. ठीक है, ये strategy के examples है. So first strategy is tit for tat, जहाँ पे you start without cooperating, but then बाद में क्या करने लगते हो तुम, जो opponent का last move है वो copy करने लगते हो. Then there is another strategy called the grim trigger. Now what does the grim trigger do? If the opponent cheats once, फिर तुम लोग constantly उसको punish ही करते जाओगे. Alright. Now, what is payoffs and what are payoffs in discounting? Alright, so total payoff is the sum of all round payoffs. ठीक है, तो मतलब जितने भी मतलब राउंड में तुम लोग को मार्क्स मिलेंगे, that will be like it will be calculated and that's called the total payoff. Okay, now future payoffs are discounted. Okay, future payoffs क्या होते हैं, उसको discount किया जाता है using a term called discount factor. So discount factor ranges from 0 to 1. अगर वो 1 के close है, ठीक है, तो अगर 1 की close है तो opponent will most likely think about कि उसको future कितना matter करता है, उसको future ज़्यादा matter करता है. He will think कि अगर मैंने आज cheat किया तो मुझे कल पनिशमेंट मिलेगी, तो मैं आज कॉपरेट करके कल भी मतलब आज कॉपरेट करूंगा तो सामने वाला भी कॉपरेट करेगा एंड देन आई कैन रीप द बेनिफिट कॉन्स्टेंटली, राइट? कि मतलब अगर मैं आज मैसअप नहीं करता हूँ देन आई कीप ऑन गेटिंग अ स्कोर फॉर इट, right? But if I mess up today, okay, if I'm risking to mess up today, that means the discount factor is low and I'm only thinking about today, then the player is impatient and he only thinks about today. He does not care कि कल जाके मुझे उसका पे ऑफ भरना पड़ेगा, कि सामने वाला भी मेरे पे चीट करेगा, right? He's not gonna care about that. He's only gonna care about that, okay, I'm going to get a good amount today, so why should I care about tomorrow? All right. Now, what is the role of history in a repeated game? Now, past actions जब होते हैं, जब game goes on for a few rounds and there are previous round history create होती है, तब past actions के basis पर trust build होता है, reputation build होता है and एक fear of punishment भी build होता है, right? So history is most definitely affecting your future play, कि तुम्हारे साथ कल क्या होगा, ठीक है? So cooperation becomes more natural. Now, what is the concept of equilibrium? Repeated games are analyzed using subgame perfect Nash equilibrium. Alright, this ensures that strategies are rational at every stage, right? And not just overall. Overall नहीं देखता है हर एक stage को analyze करता है and it removes all non-credible threats. ठीक है? Now, what is the role of cooperation in repeated games? So, like even in competitive environments, जैसे Prisoner's Dilemma हो गया, players will cooperate. They will want to cooperate because Prisoner's Dilemma में क्या होगा कि अगर like you know long term benefit कहाँ पे मिलता है? If you know Prisoner's Dilemma का play of matrix, long term benefit is always when they cooperate, when they both cooperate. But the fear of trust enables them to not cooperate and then they go on to think about themselves, right? Either one of them snitches or they both snitch, right? So they will want to cooperate. They should cooperate because if you cheat today, you will get your punishment tomorrow. And long-term benefits are cooperation are much greater than the short-term gain from cheating. All right. So repeated game का जो interaction है, repeated interaction है, it creates trust. And then we have punishment and reward mechanisms. Okay, now mechanisms to maintain cooperation. So one is grim trigger, like how we spoke about the few strategies. So वैसे कुछ strategies है. Alright, the first mechanism is grim trigger, tit for tat, and reward strategies. So grim trigger में once you cheat, you will constantly be cheated on till in all your upcoming rounds. In tit for tat, तुमने जो previous round में किया वो तुम्हें आगे वाले round में मिलेगा, right? And in reward strategies, you encourage continued cooperation. ठीक है, you encourage it. So these tools enforce discipline between players. All right. Now, what are the real world applications of this? All right, now it is used in economics for price competition and cartel stability. They are used in international relations for peace treaties and trade agreements, and in computer science for multi-agent AI cooperation. All right. So overall, repeated games basically explain us how to not how to, as to why trust and long term cooperation exist and they are important, all right, and why short term incentives should be discouraged. All right, अगर one line में if you wanna say it, then repeated games involve players interacting multiple times, where strategies depend on past actions and they allow reputation, cooperation, and punishment to influence long-term outcomes. All right, so that was the video. If you did like it, do whatever you do when you like a video, and thanks.